There we go, there we go, there we go. Welcome, welcome, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Logistical Nightmare Racing. Ooh, gotta put it on some broadcasting features here. Feel a bit out of my depth. Haven't done broadcasting in a while. So, getting back into the rhythm of things, you are all most welcome on Logistical Nightmare Racing. We are at round 3, Hungaroring, for our Tuesday night series. And I mean, this is going to be epic of proportion, because now tonight I'm gonna have to manually entertain you and actually be on point while talking at the same time. So this is probably going to be one of my trickiest things to do. Normally I have all the automated systems working, but this evening not realistically happening. Currently looking at the boys, seeing what they can do on a qualifying session. 10 minutes it was, 7 minutes remaining. So of course the tires are warming up. Welcome everyone on the stream. If you are there, good to see you, good to catch you. Do say hi. That would be kind enough if you can do that. I'll try and gather your comments on stream if I can see it at the same time. So again, this is just, it's one of those nights, man. It's one of those nights. It's like getting ready, but getting back into business. So here we go, boys. Race night. Currently looking at Paul Venter, who has subsequently set the fastest lap of the race or the qualifying session so far with a smashing 1:45.00. Now, of course, these boys are still warming up their legs. He has been beaten now by Stradom in that sexy, beautiful BMW, proudly sponsored by LNR. Looking good today with a 1:44.6, but then we've got Barrington Smith in a Porsche. Again, fantastic car to have on this track. I think it's my utmost favorite combination. Porsche, Hungaroring, beautiful combination. Even though everyone says down the straight, this Porsche should be very slow. It's not where it counts. You lose and gain so much points, momentum, time through the following sectors, which is sector 2, all the twisty bits here and there, chicanes, left, right. That's where the Porsche dominates. And Perez is showing that with his 1:43.9. Stradom not far from it. Looking at Schultz, he's ahead of Perez, trying to get to grips with that Lexus and been doing quite well this season with the Lexus. I think he's not the only individual on track that we have a Lexus with. Another member of our community, Mr. Wilfred Robson, also running his Lexus. So we got a couple of Lexus boys here, seemingly to be a very good car these days, after all the betas and the updates and the smashing here. And I mean, it's hard to keep track what is good and what is not. But I can assure you, I am not surprised seeing a Porsche in the top 10. Again, to everyone on stream, welcome boys. You are most welcome to follow us either on YouTube or on Twitch. Again, Twitch will probably be more for the European individuals, because that is very dominant from where we stream off, and because we're streaming from the UK area with the South African server, all is well that goes well on this end for us. That is Robson, best time so far, 1:46.7. The only individual that really catches my eye at this moment is Sean Stradom. He was 3/10, 4/10 up so far in that first sector. So from a delta point of view, he is now up by Probably about more than half a second, heading into sector 2, which is all your twisty bits. Have a look at this line. Does look like a great exit there. Can he finish it off? Gain some more positions on the Delta. Currently in 4th place. Plenty of guys on the track. It's been a while since I've seen so many individuals, and I'm going to try and give them as much coverage as possible. Just see what Sean does. Poe puts his car in 2nd place, not far off Barrington Smith. Did smash the best sector 1, sector 2 times, but lost quite a bit in that final sector. So it had to be those couple of turns. And we've got Neil Bullion also in a BMW there. Looking fancy there with that green and red combination. Love to hear the story on that. A man in the Ferrari, and I think he's not the only Ferrari. We've got 3 good guys here running in the Ferrari. Mr. J van Oevelen. Looking quite fancy in that smashing livery over there. Love the combinations. Flag of Italians. Was that France? That's the French flag at the back of the wing. Zombie Dom, how's it, man? Happy to hear me commentating again? Oh, I feel rusted, man, but thanks for the compliment. I feel, honestly, very rusted. Haven't done commentating in a while, so it's going to be a bit of a tricky one for me this evening. And like I said, for those that didn't capture it, my automated system is no more. I'm going to do a lot of manual clicking, checking, and validating. So I will really try and get to everyone's commentating. Multitasking is probably not one of my best things. Who's more up on that Delta? Robson, I can see, is doing fairly well there. And again, I'm featuring this man, sitting currently in 17th position. He is definitely up almost by a full second there. It seems like that tire has warmed up. It all depends on what he does in this final corner, where you can win or lose it, depending on your entry and exit over there. He is up, getting better. Reino Miller there. Charles Stein. Let's go have a look at Charles Stein, man. I'm happy to do any request there. Charles Stein in the Bentley. He is looking sleek there. Lost a bit of time there. Mr. Stein, your buddy from GTS, Bommy7, is cheering for you. Thanks, Bommy. I'll call you Reino. Love the support, man. Absolutely love the support. Guys, so this is where we are. Final things. Oh my goodness. What is the times looking at? So from a qualifying standpoint time, this is what the boys smashed out. Plenty of individuals on the track, as you can see over there. Top taking it by far is Ryan Barrington Smith, followed by Sean Stradom, Skitty, Paul Fender, Mr. Mooney, Speed Demon himself, with, again, I need to remind you boys, that is an Aston Martin V12 Vantage. The old Aston boy. That is quick. Then we have Bullion, Patterson, Dupree, Holtzhausen, and then Greening closing off the top 10. Still a few individuals on track, so things can happen, but I don't think it's going to change that drastically. From a point of view, again, Mr. Smith here in his Ferrari, up in Delta, is he going to get faster than where he is at the moment? Might climb a few positions though. Looking good at that final sector. I suspect a good 2, 3, 4 positions here. Can he break it? Great execution. Was in 20th and now in 16th. So my calculation is roughly about right. Not bad. Boys on point. Kinda gotta go and do a few things. This is all manual details. Timetables. Looking good from a qualifying point of view. Again, 25 drivers on the grid. 2 of them didn't do anything from setting a lap time. So they're going to start at the back. We have a McLaren and a Porsche, Mr. Pullen and Van der Merwe there. So good. See if I can get this done. Doesn't allow me to do much at the moment. So, this is where we sit at the present moment. Let's bring up some championship points here. Let's give a talk about it. And as we can see, this is where we stand in the championship classification for the Tuesday night GT3 ACC champions. At the top of the list, we got Raymond Mooney. Again, like I said, guys, this is a dominating force by impact. Him and his Aston Martin V12 killing the fields as it is. Already had one victory as of yet. Again, round 3, so one victory, one not. Then we have Ryan Berrington-Smith following him. Neil Greening, who did qualify 10th position, 11th, my apologies. Followed by Straydom, Scooter, Paul Venter. Then we have Drake, Quinton Smith, Charles Stein, and then Etienne Klep rounding off the top 10 for the champions. These boys are going to definitely create some havoc. I know there's some individuals that are not here this evening, so it will be good to see where they all finish off. This is Hungaroring track, one of the most difficult, twistiest tracks by far. I don't know, guys, what is your fan favorite of a track? To me, from a combination point of view, fan favorite, I do love this track. I've said it every single time. Porsche, Hungaroring, beautiful, beautiful track. Plenty of oaks there. You can see that Lexus. Ooh, that's a twisty Lexus. That went a bit off track there as we're warming up the tires. Now, while these boys do their warm-up lap, I'm gonna go and just give a shout out to our LNR Patreon members. Again, thanks for them for subscribing and helping us for the good cause. Without these boys, we will not be able to do anything. And then, of course, I'm going to give a shout out to everything else we do at Logistical Nightmare. So let's refresh a couple of things. One, every Tuesday night we have ACC PC Racing, live broadcasting, live stewarding that will take place. It's a bi-weekly scenario. This week we do GT3s. Next week we will give lots of love for the GT4s. And then for the console boys, every Wednesday is our sprint races on console, live streaming. I think we're on the final 2 rounds for the season. And then following next month, we have kicked off our ACC console endurance series, which will be hosted on SimGrid. Again, feel free to pop in there. Will be spectacular to get some support. And then last but not least, we also give more love to our Gran Turismo sport guys on console. Sunday nights, team versus team racing, lots of division. Competition is tough. Live streaming on the Pro Class, Gold Class pool there every Sunday night at 9 o'clock South African time. So do feel free to kick off and support us on that point. And then of course, to you guys out there on the stream, I mean, big thanks to you. I gotta give like a shout out to all of you. M3 Supercharged, Rhino, Zombie, I don't know who else. I'm trying to figure out and follow who's all talking on the chat. But again, big thanks to you boys. I mean, I just love to see the love and feel the love everywhere else, but we want to give it out. So as we wait for the race, this is where it's gonna get super, super exciting.
Green light, go, go, go.
Down the grid, these boys go. Cars are hungry for victories and winning. Ooh, couple of fender benders there between Berries and Straydom. Straydom definitely wanting to get all over that Porsche, but that shortfall aggressiveness has put him a bit on the back foot. He's being challenged there by Skitty coming around corner 2. Sean Straydom doesn't want to leave room. I'm gonna go back to where the action is. Big fights here. BMW looking left, looking right. So far, I cannot see any better action than this. Look at the grid following each other. B. Holzhausen there with his BMW tucked in behind. Dupree, it looks like, but he's also being sandwiched by another BM. This is where carnage normally happens. Do we see any? None whatsoever. It's just fantastic driving. I have to admit it. I'm going to give a big round of applause to these boys, man. I am seeing spectacular racing from all angles. Super excited. Still very close between all the individuals. And I keep my eye out where the BMWs and the Bentleys are. As much as I praise the Porsches being so good and dominating on the track, so are the Bentleys. And the only individual on that is Paul Fenter here in the front back, sitting in 5th position. Doesn't look like he's lost much of a position, so the top 5 still remain as they were from the start. Nail lost a position down, heading off into the start. Biggest winner from what I can see is Gail van der Berg here, sitting comfortably in 11th place. Started on the grid in plus or minus 14th position. Had a couple of gains there, looking very good there. New to the PC Simracing guys. Let's see where these guys go. Plenty of action everywhere. Lovely wing there, looking at that Aston Martin of Neil Greening there in 12th position. Again, for the boys on the stream, you want to give a shout out to anyone specifically. If you see something I don't see, let me know. Look at the track map, look how close these guys are. Back to front, everyone is there. Porsche seems to be running away quite a bit there. We in mid-pack, where Gail van der Berg is very racy this evening, sitting all over the bumper there of B. Holzhausen. But he's got to make a move because he is being chased down by Neil, who is very hungry at the moment. Top 5 still looks very tight. Raymond Mooney in 4th. Sandwich between a Lexus and a Bentley. Now from a speed point perspective, I don't think anyone's going to cover that one. So I want to give you guys some interior love. Does he make that stick? He definitely got a good advantage and a great exit from there. Covering the inside perfectly in corner 2. Takes the line into 3. One more position gain for the Aston. Lexus doesn't look comfortable. He's all over and under pressure by the Bentley. much as I would want. I can sit at this and look at this the whole time and just go, wow, wow, and double wow. Hi, Alvin. Welcome, man. Got you. Great clean racing, man. This is what we promote. Loving to see some good clean racing by all the guys. Competition is very packed and compact. And again, just looking at the background there, Patterson is trying to fend himself off between the individuals behind him fighting hard. That's Nail trying to regain his position. But Nail is under severe pressure by the fastest Ferrari on track, which is Jay van Oevelen. Looking like there's battles everywhere, mid to center, going back to the mid-back boys. Woof! That was an instant eye shock. I didn't expect to see that. R van Jaarveld in his BMW's logistical nightmare racing livery. Every time I look at that, I go like, that is sexy. But this is the mid-back boys fighting. We've got quite a good mixture. Aston versus McLaren versus BMW versus Ferrari. So a good combination of different guys here, which makes it seemingly amazing. Overhead view. Look how close these battles are. And this is mid-back-ish. And this is not where it ends. We still have the boys in 20th position here. Big battles. It just seems to, every car I pick on seems to be the BMW. I'm not favoring the BMW, I just seem to be picking them quite obviously. They seem to be the favorite amongst all the individuals in ACC. Apparently very nerved at the moment. A couple of boys getting penalties over there. Not 100% sure what that is all about, so I can kind of pick that up. Mr. Pullen there in his Porsche receiving a 5-second penalty for not applying brakes. So something had to have gone horribly wrong in a corner with him for getting that 5-second penalty. And then of course we have Nicholson here in his Audi also receiving a 5-second penalty from the stewards for an unavoidable contact. So that is a bit unfortunate. But again, from a clean racing perspective, I am humbly surprised at where we're sitting at the moment. Looking at big battles at this stage, front to the back, Porsche versus Stratum. This is Porsche versus BMW. These guys are battling it out corner by corner, inch by inch. Everyone's doing low 1 minute 44s as a race pace. Now, that is phenomenally quick. If you realistically have to think about it, the qualifying pace was in the mid to high 43s. And this is race pace, 44 flat. That is quick. Now again, what I find very curious and interesting, just looking at the stats between these guys, is that it seems to be as if the BMW has better leg advantage in sector 1 and then partial sector 2, but when it comes to the last and final sector, that Porsche just seems to outrun him every single time. It does seem like the battles are way closer because Sean is on point. He is closing that gap inches by inches. I'm gonna go in the bumper early. Looking at from a wing perspective, does that BMW reel him in? Probably not that much. I would have expected with a bit of less wing that BMW would hunt him down quite quickly, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Yeah, as Cactus said, there is some penalties, definitely some, but again, based on what I get and the info and the feedback from the stewards, very minor contacts here and there. Again, two avoidable contact incidents, and then of course one contact where the individual didn't apply some brakes. So from a lap 1 race scenario 10 minutes into it, it is phenomenally clean, and that can only happen when individuals show some good respect. BMW all over the end of that McLaren. And this is where I think the BMW gets a bit of an advantage over that McLaren, is all these curb rides. McLaren under severe pressure there. Guys, I've got to be very careful this evening, because as great and as challenging as Hungaroring is, track limits is the next battle that they need to compete with. Go too wide and it will penalize you, and at the end of the day, I believe in this instance a stop go 30 seconds is the last thing these guys would want, or even a drive-through. So pit entry, pit exit, track limits, very harsh, but can be rewarding if you keep the momentum on track. More battles there at the back, as Robson trying to make an amends on Charles Stein. Charles Stein looking good there in 15th position. He has, however, lost 2 places from where he started off. So can he try and capitalize that as the race continues? Again, very well known for actually staying good within the race, creating little havoc for himself and classifying, having good end results. Again, looking at the championships, Neil Greening in the Aston Martin, looking very comfortable there in 11th position. Hasn't gained or lost that much, still battling it very hard. Big driver winner, Dave Young, 8 positions gained from the start of the race. Now, that is quite a bit, talking about a Mercedes-Benz. Don't believe this is the only Mercedes-Benz that we have on track. It is. It's the only Mercs. Oh, and again, spam on YouTube. And so I'm going to add all these things on things. So apologies for those chats in YouTube. Spam is what we find everywhere else. It's not one of the best exciting things that I like to see. But if I do see it, I will note it down and we will probably get the guys to remove it. Some things we have to work on manually in the background. Merc looking very good there, and again, like I said, the only Merc on track presently. Still big battles here. Ooh, there seemed to have been an incident with Skitty there. That Lexus doesn't look very healthy as it stands. Bit of a fender bender. He is going to lose a lot of positions just on that. Let's just see if we can capture that at some point. So looking at the Lexus coming down the straight line, everything seems fairly well from that point of view. Ooh. Nope, doesn't seem like we've captured that. So something has happened with that Lexus. A bit of a fender bender. He's going to get chased down by the guys ahead of him or behind him. Question is, can he remain that position? Paul Venter, on the other hand, has gained one more place. He is now going to try and chase down that beautifully sounded V12 Aston Martin. Got a bit of work for him to do. Still big battles here between mid-pack guys, and this is where it gets exciting. Position 6, 7, 8 are all within 1 second of each other. BMW versus Ferrari. And I looked at Alan. Severe pressure representing PWSR. A well-known driver in all communities, friendly bunch of T-Oaks, and a great team. Now this battle has now soon become a four-way battle, and that's probably because Skitty is struggling with his speed, momentum. He's going to try and capitalize on that. Alan looking on the inside. Ooh, daring move. Skitty struggling to defend that, and I don't think he's going to get that right all of the way, because that Lexus is definitely hurt. Looking at the delta, the actual timing, Skitty is way down at the moment. Still trying to battle it out. Lost 2 positions. He's now going to lose another one with the Ferrari. Looking on the inside, taking it the first corner, dives in close. Exit speed is where it counts. That to me looks like an easy 1, 2, 3. Skitty being very defensive. He's going to cover the inside line. Doesn't want to give it away. Closes the door for the Ferrari. Ferrari has to be frustrated just because of that, because now he's got to sit back. Oh, and he makes a mistake. Big mistake coming out of turn 3. That is what happens when you got a bit of frustration with you. You know you got the legs. You can get past that car, and then one slight error drops you down 3 positions. Massive disappointment there for Uvelin. I'm fairly confident that is not what he expected to do. But he has time and he can recover from that. Just gotta refocus, rezone, get your momentum on. You got 2 individuals in front of you, you can definitely gain that back. But again, everything has changed. More close battles between 1 and 2. Stratum a lot closer than what he was in normal conditions every time coming down the straight. Can he outrun that Porsche? That is the question. BMW versus Porsche, long straight. Berries goes very defensive, realizes that that Porsche is close, takes the inside line, covers it off. Heads on to turn 4. Now a good exit there by Stratum can get him into that position, but he loses his. Berry still holds position, still retains first place. Battle is not yet over, and the more they fight, the closer this man is gonna get to them. Mr. Mooney. Oh, I gotta listen to that sound every time that car goes by. Anyone who doesn't love that sound is mad, absolute mad. Nothing is more beautiful than the sound of a V12 engine. M3 supercharged, cheering on there for Alan. Let's go. Let's see what Alan is doing. Alan and Nail has been battling it on since the beginning of the race. None of them wants to give up any positions. And again, Patterson has climbed 2 places up since the start of the race. Nail started in 6, is in 6. Looking behind this PWSR BMW. Alan looking very comfortable in that sexy car. I gotta admit, I'm a big fan of this livery. As much as I love the Logistical Nightmare liveries, this one is just absolutely gorgeous. And I'll say it every single time I see that. And more battles at the back. We now have Holzhausen, Dupree sitting on Skitty. Skitty refusing to go into the pits. I think he wants to gain as much momentum as he can, struggle and suffer. Because again, the pit is closed. Pit stops is closed. If you go in the pits now, you got to go back in and do a tire change. So as the race condition develops, the tricky difficulty gets on with it. Pit windows should open within the next 15 seconds or so. So I'm expecting to see Skitty in there very quickly. Doesn't go very defensive there. No, he does. Still defends his line.
The pit is now open.
That's gonna push him a bit backwards there. Looking at Boyson here, he is currently chasing down that Ferrari. Managed to get away from Robson there. McLaren finally getting into its better self, and of course Robin van der Mappen in his pink / SOP livery there, which I gotta admit looks gorgeous. SOP, for those that don't know, individuals on a community that also hosts some racing, both console and PC. Good friends of Logistical Nightmares. Love everyone. And again, we are big promoters of all types of communities out there. It's all about racing. It's all about some racing. I don't care what anyone else says. We drive where the competition is tough, fierce, and exciting. Big battles here at the back. And again, this is position 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Individual I haven't even featured at the race, Mr. C. Heartacre. I hope I pronounced that correct. Looking very well there with his Ferrari. I think it's the first time he's actually joined us in the season. So newbie on the block, giving him some well-foreseen coverage in the pits at the moment. Of course, as expected, Skitty is in, Dave Young is in, Desmond Pullen there got a stop-go 30-second penalty. Now that's got to be for pit limits. Oh, that is a race disaster. A absolute race disaster. This man is not going to be happy sitting there for 30 seconds when he is getting out of the pits. Plenty of positions lost there. Again, big battles here between the front runners. This boys has not stopped. They are slightly running away from the back, but not that significantly. Still good laps being produced all over the round. Top 3 at this stage are running in the low to mid 144s. Again, that was a 144.5 for Berries, 144.6 there for Stradom, and not far beyond them is the beautiful Aston Martin, also in the 44.6s. So these top 3 boys are outgunning the rest of the team here. Bentley here trying to chase down 3rd place, which is going to be an uphill battle for him because he needs to pull up some socks. However, he's got Dave there in front of him. He just came out of the pits. I've gotta go ask everyone. That to me doesn't look like the 2017 Bentley. Just giving it an eye wall, that really looks like the 2015 Bentley. Now, who in the life of me would choose that old Bentley? I think I've only realized that now. So, looking at the race situations at this stage, what a color combination there. the only Lamborghini on track. And it definitely looks mighty fine there. That is Johannes van der Merwe, currently in 23rd positions, giving way for individuals seemingly to be lapping him at this moment. Desmond Pullen seems to have killed his race. Gerard van der Haarje at the back of the pack, still giving it lots of stick with his McLaren. Again, fantastic to see guys persevere. Not all just about speed. It's racing, getting into it, getting in the groove. He's doing the best he can. Mr. Nicholson here also in his Audi had a bit of a fender bender at the beginning of the race. Subsequently to that, really not seemingly had the time to find momentum. Galen Mawa. Don't know why I missed him off the track. How is Galen Mawa doing? Galen Mawa, aka Pace, KLM Pace from Pace Motorsports. I don't seem to have his livery on me, so I need to go and speak to the guys and also apologize to him, so everyone can run their custom liveries here by us. Again, a very known, prominent YouTube, well, used to be YouTube streamer. I think he's now mostly streaming on Twitch. So for anyone that wants to go and give him a like and a follow, please proceed to do so. I would probably say go do the same for all the other individuals that I think streams. If I get to them, I will let you know who they are. So after a couple of pit stops, seemingly boys coming out of the pits, I do see a couple of changes. Alan Patterson, they're currently sitting in 17th position. Now, that doesn't mean that that is where he is. It's just because a number of the guys in front has pitted already, and some individuals are taking it as far as they can. Pit stop window is still open for the next 13 minutes, so I'm expecting plenty of changes though. What is a surprising factor for me at this stage is going to be where I somehow thought that was son of bullion. So we have a father-son combination here for those guys that watch the streams and all over the case. Again, a big thank you to Mr. Alan Patterson doing a couple of streams for us here at Logistical Nightmare Racing. We have Mr. Lee Bullion here, father of Neil Bullion here. Again, identical car choices by and land out to Scottish people, all the way from far above the northern hemisphere of UK. And I believe Raymond Mooney is also from Scotland. Again, Mr. Ramon. Okay, straight on in the pit. So let me see if I can go find some action. Big battle here between Holzhausen and Dupree. It has subsequently leveled out a bit. Dupree going into the pits. Holzhausen decided to remain out. Quinton Smith here, big battles at the same time with Robin van der Merwe. McLaren versus Ferrari. None of them dived into the pit stops at all. Right there in the background we have Robson. Then of course Charles Stein trying to chase down that Lexus ahead of him. Now this battle has been ongoing since the start of the race. Again, everyone slowly settling back into their positions of what they were either prior to the pit stops or after. I am very curious to see where Alan will be coming out, because I think Neil is in the pits, so My focus is here. Is Alan going to maintain his position? By the looks of it, it seems yes. Undercut has worked very well for him. He has gained quite a bit of time ahead of Nell there. So that is a big advantage there for Alan Patterson. Significant amount of time gain going into the pit stops way earlier than his nemesis that stood behind him from the start of the race. And that's going to give him a lot of breathing time to focus, rezone, and finish this race quite strong. Looking at Charles here, getting way closer to Robson there. Not a fantastic lap that Robson would have wanted. Ooh, Robson makes a big mistake there. But that mistake pushes him into the pits. Charles decided to stay out, remain out. Now he's got the leader behind him, so if he's going to choose to... No, not the leader, Sean Straydon behind him. Again, this is for position. He doesn't necessarily have to open space up. So this could hurt Sean Straydon in the battle for that winning race. Because Berries has gone into the pits as well. He has gained quite a few positions. Currently in 5th. And again, there's a few guys that still has not pitted. So the battles are now with the individuals who has and has not. Straydon in the mix there is challenging for position. That is a position fight. That is not... He is allowed to open. Ooh, contact made, contact made. Now that was an unfortunate one. It does look like it's a punt to pass kind of scenario thing. I'm fairly sure the stewards are going to have a magnifying glass on that. Charles Steyn, the unfortunate individual, losing a position there. Again, it is battle for position, whether you have pitted or not. It still remains. That is just my observation and my overview of it. Paul Venter here, battling with C. Clow. Again, one of those scenarios. Ooh, goes very wide there with the BMW. Misses his brake marker, comes back online. He's got the Mercedes there. More guys in the pits. Now this will start settling out everyone. Lots of shuffling taking place. Still hearing that beautiful Aston Martin V12 engine. I'm gonna stop talking about it because that seems to be the only thing I am talking about. You let me know if I do talk too much. Lee there moving away. Just getting something there to settle my throat. As we spoke about it, 5-second penalty there. Ooh. Not 100% sure what happened there. But I picked up that Sean Straydon got a 5-second penalty and he has slowed down significantly all the way down to 7th position. Not fairly, bit confused as to what has happened there. Again, based on the stewards, they did give him that 5-second penalty because it was an avoidable contact between himself and Charles Steyn, but something doesn't look right there. because he is very slow, pulling off the sideline onto the racing line, back into the pits, completely uncertain as to what has developed there. That seems to be the end of the race for Sean Stradom. That will probably put Raymond Moody into a comfortable second position. And then, of course, Paul Venter into the third and final podium. And then Alan Patterson is now in fourth, if that all tells out as it is. Again, a few individuals has gone into the pits. So Robert van der Merwe, Quentin Smith, Charles Stein, all in the pits. And this is where the positions will calculate itself out. As soon as he crosses a couple of sectors here, you'll see the broadcasting times picking up quite significantly. There we go. This is where we stand. Race still on. And currently, Ryan Berrington Smith is the fastest guy on track with a 1:44.040. What a phenomenal time there. And now I'm very curious as to what has happened on that incident with Sean Stradom. Gets a 5-second penalty, struggles to maintain the car momentum. This is an open door, clean shut scenario for Perez, potentially taking the victory by miles ahead of the crowd there in the Porsches. 23 minutes to go. All he's got to do is keep calm, stay collective, focus, and not make any mistakes, and he's got this in the bag. Hey, Sean Schultz seems to be back into the racing condition. An individual who has dropped down by 10th places since the start of the race. He's got Robin van der Merwe ahead of him, who is managed to gain 13th positions from race start. So, that looked like an easy overtake there by Skutter. No real challenge there from Robin. Probably feeling that he either does not have the momentum or skill sets to compete for the position, or, as I would call it, taking it easy, choosing your battles. Again, more battles here at the back inside. This is not finished. Dolstein, that wasn't an incident with Sean Stradom there, is now battling once again between himself and H. Boysa in the McLaren. Not far behind them is Hardacre. Oh, someone needs to help me pronounce this. Is there anyone on the stream, just FYI, asking, how would you pronounce that? Oh, M3 Supercharged, yeah. I don't know. I'm very curious there, Supercharged, what has happened to Sean Stradom. Probably get the whole grasp of it after the race has ended. Again, we possibly could be looking at someone that has had some technical difficulties. But he definitely did get that penalty for making contact. And yes, here at Logistical Nightmares, rage quitting is very frowned upon, but we do sometimes often understand that we will have some mechanical failure, which can happen. I have seen it more often than what I'm used to seeing since the development or the launch of ACC. So when ACC started off, I don't think there was that many technical difficulties as what I've heard lately along all other communities. And guys have been verbally voicing their opinions these days of how many steering locks they've had, how many times their pedals have crashed and it doesn't work properly, the amount of times that your PC just dies on instant races and things like that. So that does occur, and I think in most instances, as the boys upgrade to more advanced pedals, better pedals, new thrustmasters, the CSL, the Fanatec's, all those things, you will probably get some technical difficulties at the start of it. Sometimes it just fails, so I really would want to know what has happened there. Unfortunate for him. I've never seen Straydom being a rage quitter. So again, all we can do is well,
No, he's now.
lost for words there. All we can do is assume the best. So, back onto this one. Berry's coming back and made his fastest lap as of yet of a 1:43.7. Now, he is definitely on the move, getting good racing there. And Raymond Mooney has lost the position to Paul Venter. I have no idea when that happened. I think it's just me going off the line there completely. Missed everything about that. But we have a Bentley 2015 version versus the Aston Martin V12 battling it out. Two of the old generation cars outwitting, outsmarting, outdriving the BMW 2021 version. Have you ever? Unbelievable how that has evolved. But this battle still continues. Oops. Just hear that by the sounds of that car itself. Big battles here between Raymond Mooney and Paul Venter. This is definitely not over for podium top 3. Paul doesn't want to give out that position. That's for sure. Arvan Jelsveld there with a drive-through penalty. That's probably purely just because of track limits. Taking his drive-through as we speak. Just wait and listen how long Rooney takes get on the throttle of this car. Trying to get the right camera angles here. Does he have the speed and the pace to take him down in the straight? Certainly looks like it. Not just to look on the inside, doesn't make it stick. It's probably going to be hard for him because he's battling a car that probably can outbrake him in any given corner. So he's got to set up that move perfectly. As close as what he was there. And again, that was less than half a second coming down the straight. The Bentley did seem to outrun him there. But simultaneously might be where the Bentley dominates, is where it can break versus the Aston Martin. More battles on the back end side, and of course mid-pack boys never ceases to amaze. Audi versus Ferrari. We have Q Smith and K Mawa for 13th position. They are being heavily chased down there by Boyce, by Stein, by Hardcore, the top big foul Big four battle is what I call it. Ooh, big shunt inside, diving to there by Kalen. Looking cheeky on that move, takes the inside line, shunts the Ferrari out wide. This battle is still not over. Corner 2 is where it counts. He wants to cover that second. Oh, contact made, contact made. This is where it gone horribly wrong. Absolutely horrible there. Let's just see if we can check that out first. Side by side as they went out of corner 1. Ferrari goes wide. Audi wanted to cover the inside line and contact was made between those two individuals. Subsequent contact to Quinton there. What an unfortunate event. It's just one of those positions where you're aiming to be at the end of the line and then you start to realize that there is a car right next to you. What an unfortunate incident for Q Smith. And then of course Mr. K Mawa, who's sitting in the pits. Not 100% sure what Charles Stein did, but I'm fairly sure he's got a bit of damage there. How that affected his race and where he is. A few positions lost. Hardacre has gained positions, so he is now ahead of Stein. Boysen has got a bit of a gap now between him, so it's a bit of a breather. Just want to see what happens to that. Look at that Bentley, slightly damaged on the left hand. That is exactly where he made contact with that Ferrari. Unfortunate bystander there. Based on what it looks like, it just seems like it's a bit of scratches. Nothing realistic that would have made it much harder for him. Ooh, Dave Young there was fighting for position there with Lee, who has subsequently moved out of the way there from Mr. Alan Patterson. So that gives Lee a bit of a breather there from a racing standpoint. Now he's going to go and head out of the way for Alan. That's going to put him in line with Dave, right on his tail again. I don't think that was a wise choice by him to let Alan Patterson go there. Is Lee going to go defensive into corner 1? Sticks it a bit on the line, makes him aware that I'm going to cover that. Dave not realistically making the move. Goes wide. Mr. Lee can go and fight another day. Cleaning a bit of communication. It isn't necessarily needed in our sim racing community on our live streams. Again, a bit of manual interaction here and there doesn't make it easy for me. Raymond Mooney and Paul Venter is still battling out for that top 3 position. Don't know if they have settled in this battle or if Mooney is just sizing him up, figuring out where he's going to capitalize. Ooh, Paul Venter going very deep as we speak into corner 2. Raymond Mooney taking the inside. Oh, Paul Venter had that covered. Now that is good and great driving skills there between the guys. Knew that the guy was going to be next to him. Thought about the move and closing the door, realizing that that would not have happened. And this is skills. This is master skills, guys. Again, accidents can happen. It's prone to happen. We all make indecisive decisions that can lead to an accident, but this is what we call masterclass driving. Stain, looking good. He's trying to gain his positions back all over on top of that Ferrari. These are the closest battles at this moment. Alan Patterson still comfortable in his 4th place. Still being chased down there by Neil Bullion, who has his father right behind him. Lee Bullion, who's being chased down by David Young for 20th position. The battles across the floor. Less than 10 minutes of racing left. I don't see Sean Stradom in the race anymore. Deep Bullen is still there, sitting in the pits as comfortably as he has. Don't think he's going to gain any points by just remaining in the pits. Again, if Sean Stradom is here, still a lot of cleaning up that one needs to do. Why do individuals make streaming that difficult for us? Well, this is just me talking to myself. Battles have turned here, the front to the back. Raymond Mooning has passed Paul Venter. I did miss that not so long ago. Don't know if I can see that though, so let's see if we can find that anywhere in the race positions. No, definitely further back than that. This battle will continue. Alright, going back to the normal stream now. Apologies for all the confusion on that. I went to try and have a look and see if I could find where Raymond Mooney has passed Paul Venter. Now Raymond Mooney has got a bit of clear air. He is making a lot of space between him and that Bentley now. Still searching for all the battles everywhere else. Not realistically finding all of them. Dupree here coming down the straight line with the Audi behind him, who's being lapped. Now again, that is Mr. Nicholson, I believe. Still driving his heart out there, even though he is in 23rd position. So good finish for him for sticking it out and putting it through. Always mean that you're not finished with the race until it's all finished. These boys still battling it out. Less than 7 minutes remaining of the race. Championship still ongoing. And again, let's give you all just a brief reminder, and of course a big thank you from my end for all the love and the support that you guys give us on Tuesday nights here at Logistical Nightmare Racing. We proud and feature GT3 and GT4 racing for the PC guys. Everything hosted on simgrid.gp. Again, what a fantastic place to host your sim racing community. Do go out and look us up if you ever or have access to that. It would be great to have more support and more drivers. Then on Wednesday nights we have an ACC console sprint series. Currently the boys are closing off their season ones, and soon we will be hosting most of our races at SimGrid, co-founder from Coach Dave Academy. And again, we will launch our endurance console season off next month. So if you fancy a bit of ACC console racing, bit of a mini endurance, and we're talking about 1, maybe 2 hours of racing, and again, anyone can handle 2 hours of good seat time, do go over to simgrid.com, look us up at Logistical Nightmare, do register and join us for the fun. That will be hosted on Saturdays every month. And then of course, if you fancy some GT Sport action, feel free to join the community. We do GT Sport racing Sunday nights, where we feature a good team versus team racing. Ooh, big stop-go penalty there. Now that is a harsh penalty if ever I have seen that one. And I'm very curious as to where that came from. But from what I could understand, that is a stop-go take-out penalty for car 53. And simultaneously not holding the brakes after being in a collision, causing a potential secondary collision. Now that is an interesting analysis by the racing stewards from that point of view. Probably one of the hardest penalties I've ever seen, smashing it out at LNR. Whew. And then of course Skitty, who struggled during the race, is now doing a drive-through penalty. Now that's potentially for track cut, and track cuts on the race itself. So track penalties dishing out, stop-go 30-second penalties by the racing stewards for Q Smith, where the accident occurred between K Mawa and Q Smith coming into corner 2. Very, very difficult to judge that one. Love to understand where that decision came from. Not 100% sure if I agree, but then again, I am just the commentator. I don't know what you guys think. Those that did go and see it, what do you think of that penalty? Just give me your views, give me your senses. Two guys going into a corner, battling it out. One seemingly trying to cover for the other one for the corner, trying to gain that position momentum. And the one guy just trying to defend his line. Whew, very hard, very hard. Tough call. And another one. Stop-go penalty there, 30 seconds for Schultz. Oh my goodness. The drama will not end. I have a very strong feeling that is for speeding in the pit lane while going for your drive-through. I am going to look on. Did anything? No, don't see anything from the steward, so that is not a driver penalty. That is an in-game penalty. The end of all races. What an unfortunate scenario has happened there.
Leader's on the final lap now. Give it all you can.
Leader on the final lap, couple of battles going on here. And again, Neil Greening here versus Robin van der Merwe. Haven't really featured none of these boys. They've been sitting in the background all nice and quiet the whole race. Come the end of the race, and this is where the battle begins. McLaren versus Aston. Can Neil Greening maintain that position? Leader on his final laps. Now gotta keep an eye out where this man is. He is on his final lap, but the battle is still here. Greening going very defensive in the chicane. gonna cost him a bit of time. Too much curb. Seems to be running away from the McLaren. But this battle ain't over between these boys. Top 10 here. Battling it out for 9th position. They still have one more lap to go. They will have to finish that before they can finish the session. Leader of the pack in the last final corners of the race. Got to admit, phenomenal drive by this man, Ryan Berrington Smith, the man who set the fastest lap of the race, 1:43.7, takes victory at Hungaroring. 1 hour races. Happy man, look at that. Super excited. Not far from him, Raymond Mooney in the Aston V12. Smashing it out there in 12th position, 2nd position. Slowing it down there. Now I wonder what is that all about. That's his 2nd place. And 3rd place there with Paul Fenter flashing the lights, happy, excited. Alan Patterson not far off these top 3 boys. Great finish, man. Phenomenal start. I think Alan Patterson gained something like 3 positions overall from Racing Point. And he has been chased down a bit there by Neil Bullion. So good racing by both of these BMW drivers. Phenomenal ending. B. Holzhausen, someone we haven't really talked about the whole race, a driver in the background being quiet, and as we speak of him, he gained 4 positions from race start, remained clean and smashed it off. Top 6, great drive from him. Uvelin in 7th, then we have Dupree in 8th. And then this battle between 9 and 10th, Greening in 9th, Robin in 10th. What a race finish. That is your top 10. Fantastic times. Phenomenal results by everyone. Ooh, I lost it there for a second. This is your race finish overall. I gotta admit, what a phenomenal drive by all the guys. I thoroughly enjoyed commentating and spectating this at the same time. I feel humbly proud for doing so. I gotta give up and big thanks to all you boys and girls supporting there on the outer side. Much appreciated. Lots of love again. So again, big support, big thanks there by McSandy, M3 Supercharge, Katsu, Alvin, Reino, Zombie Dom. If I haven't called your name, I haven't seen you on chat. Big thanks to you, Oaks, for supporting on the stream. Love all the facts and the support you guys do. Appreciate all the fun. Catch you all next week. GT4. Have a good night. God bless. Good night. Adios.